chosen ones, empaths, and all the genuine souls. Remember, like I always tell you, a Hoover is a temperament checker. It's not actually something you want. It's where a narcissist is gauging you to see your reaction, to make an assessment, to make a judgment upon how you're going to react. And that's why they put you in the position of desperation. I'm not belittling you now, putting you down, but they put you in a vulnerable situation where all you want to do is crave communication with them. And you're being transparent and you're trying, and you may have tried numerous times, right? The point being is, in the narcissist's mind, they're thinking, why haven't they tried harder? You see, this is what I'm saying. You're in a powerful position. Even if you're someone who chased after them, you pled, you begged, you cried, you sobbed, you whatever, right? You're in a powerful position because the moment you retreat, they're not satisfied. They want you to try harder, you see? So then they they intensify the silence. They might block you on an angle that they hadn't necessarily blocked you before. Okay? They might do something which will signify to you that they've made a further, or implemented something further to deny you to speak to them, right? So, let me give you an example. Say they blocked you on numerous things, but there was one thing left open, and then they blocked you on that, right? Something like that. Just, it could be anything. It could be social media, it could be whatever, right? This is what they'll do. This is a reverse Hoover. What they're trying to do is put you in a vulnerable position where you go so desperate, crazy, it can lead people, to get ill, right? Because it's not nice. And I read somewhere that ghosting and abandonment has been made illegal in some country. Do your own research on it, because I saw it. I don't know if it was fake news, but apparently that's what they've done in certain countries, that you can it's actually, an offense to do it. Okay, so that is the severity of it if other countries are taking it seriously like that, because it has a detrimental effect on the chosen one, empath and genuine soul, initially. But if you wrap your head around this and you say, okay, all right, you can say to yourself, look, you chased them, you pursued them, but now you're not going to do it. You're not playing a game. You're saying, okay, I'll take your word for what it is and go in your own direction. I'm telling you, they're going to pop back up. They're going to burn out because they're the one who's going to get inquisitive and very curious in why you haven't tried harder. Because you were meant to chase them till the end of the earth. That's what they expected from you. You know why? Because your love that you offer is different as a chosen one, empath and genuine soul. Even if prior to awakening, your love, generosity, your empathy, and I'm not just singing you sweet words, it literally gives them a euphoric rush. So they expect you to be codependent. They expect you to be, let me backtrack a moment. They expect you to be codependent, and some of you might feel codependent, like you can't function or you don't see the world without them. But the first thing is radical acceptance, and accepting that the relationship is over, because that's what they're telling you it is. Okay? They're telling you it's over. They're ghosting you, abandoning you, discarding you, whatever. Leave them to it. I'm telling you, if you don't chase, or you stop chasing, even if you have, they get very curious. All it is, like I've said before, unless this is your first time here, there's a delay in when they get the realization. Obviously, if you've done no chasing at all, they haven't been inundated with loads of supply source where they're just rejecting you, okay? But what that does, but if you don't chase, they'll realize sooner. But what I will say is, for those of you that have chased, it works in your advantage, because that's an offering that you're offering, right? You were trying to communicate with them, transparency, a reciprocal conversation with reciprocity, and they didn't provide that. And that's something that will eat them up, because they had you in the clutches of their hands, exactly where they wanted you, where they thought you're going to continue chasing to the end of the earth. But somehow you managed to get out. You found channels like this or other channels. You woke up to narcissistic abuse. You're starting to see through the veil. Okay? You're seeing through the veil. You're realizing, okay, maybe this isn't all just clinical. Because many channels you come across will give you a clinical definition and probably can articulate, different psychological neurons and whatever, right? Like much more specific than I can. Obviously, there is some weight in all of the things they're saying. I'm not knocking them, okay? But they're looking at it from a clinical aspect. And when you dig a bit deeper, these creatures, these dusty, disgusting, despicable weirdos are seriously, seriously evil, okay? Demonic. And they're satiated by your misery and pain. You see? Look, the thing about a narcissist is they can't appreciate that you are there for them. Like, they can't wrap their heads around it. So they play sort of games and stuff to try and engage it, but they shoot themselves in the foot by doing it. So now they're left with, when they burn the bridge, they're left with the only option they have now is to do this reverse Hoover. And that's what I'm saying. You've been hoovered. The very thing you're looking for from a Hoover, because many of you desire that, the very thing you're looking for, they're already doing it to you now. It's not an indirect Hoover. This is a blatant this is a reverse Hoover. Okay, it's reverse, but it's directly aimed at you. Something that only you'll know and people around you ain't gonna understand. And I'll give you a word of advice. Don't try and explain to people what. If you're understanding what I'm saying, keep it between us. Okay? If you want to put something in the comment section, obviously. But don't start explaining to people that have no comprehension. It's not their fault. They're not going to get it. They've been in makeup and breakups and all this stuff, right? They're not going to understand what it is. And this goes beyond the romantic relationship dynamic. This goes for any of you that are going through discard, abandonments, ghosting from friends, from family units, from family members, from colleagues, from associates, from bosses, from whatever. Okay, the same rules apply. If you back away, they get inquisitive, and what they don't realize is that at first they'll think, they're playing hard to get, or they're just gone away for a bit. They're gonna pop back up, and then they'll be in that cycle, notifications going off on their phone, and it's not you going, please, if you're vulnerable and you're upset and you're desperate and you're trying to communicate, you're not going to be all begging and they're getting a notification from, other things, other friends and stuff. And they're probably they'll start to get bitter towards these very people that are very close to them because they actually desire you and they're growing fond of you. Now, I want you to understand that through the period of time of the silence, your value increases if you maintain the silence. But often what happens, and I speak to people in sessions, are like, shall I wish them happy birthday? No, you shouldn't wish them happy birthday. You shouldn't wish them Merry Christmas or whatever festival or celebration you celebrate, Eid, Hanukkah, whatever, right? Whatever religious celebration or any kind of spiritual celebration or whatever. Don't wish them happy anything. Leave them be. Alright? Most likely, they'll try and do something to you on those given days so you don't forget those days. But what I suggest you start moving in a direction of is just not blocking it out, but like the dates, the memories, anniversary days or days when you first got that job and you met that boss or that friend or that colleague, and you're going through days and stuff and you remember their birthdays, or whoever this narcissist is, whatever type of narcissist relationship it is, friend, family, romantic partner, colleague, associate, whatever. If you're a romantic partner, if you're thinking of the days, as you process through time, it will start to minimize. You'll forget dates, you'll forget anniversaries, you'll forget these significant dates in the calendar year. Okay, they don't forget. I promise you'll forget. And a little tip of advice that I think it will work, because you have to start to, how can I put this? Stick around. Look, you have to start to associate thoughts of them or dates and stuff as intrusive. Okay, so you have to say like, this is going a bit deep now. Obviously, there's things like synchronicities from God and signs and things like that, or the universe or whatever. But these things are like intrusive thoughts. They're like unwanted thoughts. when you get these thoughts like, oh, it's been 6 months, oh, it's been a year, oh, it's been 2 years, oh, it's been whatever, right? Oh, it's been a few days, or it's been a week, or whatever the number, okay? When you start getting that, start to associate like, oh, there's something to try to lure me back. You know, that's how you have to think, right? And what that will start to do, if you start to look at it as a passing thought, let the thought comes, let it go, it flows like the clouds, right? You'll start to teach your brain how to filter out this permanently. Okay, you one day you'll probably think of a day and think, what day was it? And you'll be like that. You'll be like, I can't even remember. Like, you seriously, right? So all I'm saying is while the narcissist is going, because obviously this subject was about the reverse Hoover, right? But that ties into it, because while you're going through that phase, they're going through like clutching on to the stuff, right? They're remembering them days. They know that they're significant things. That you changed their life, like, and this is why I said that they actually, you know, hold on to your memories to feel close to you. Okay, they hold on to your memories. I made a video recently. If you go back a couple of videos, it's there. Okay, they hold on to your memory. All right, and also they talk to the new supplier about you. That's another video I made recently. Okay, and if you want to check that out after this, though, try to stick around, if you can, please. But yeah, they'll talk your name. They'll do all sorts of things to try to keep your name alive. Now, they'll have you under the illusion that it's silence. They don't want to talk to you. I'm telling you, this individual is probably most likely has already even gone further than the reverse Hoover. And they're probably in your DMs from some random account. All right. If you are on Instagram, they'll have Instagram accounts of 0 followers, and they'll try and follow you and stuff like this. Now, obviously, don't go too ritualistically involved within that, because some of them can be just phony accounts. But that is the type of behavior that they do. They make blatant accounts with some cryptic stuff. And I was having a conversation with someone recently, a little while back now, but he was talking about cryptic stuff that they do, right? I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning, but they do cryptic stuff, all right? And this is what they do. So they're probably most likely in your DMs or in your followers, or they're viewing what you're doing silently. Now, that's them breaking, like, even if they've got you under the illusionary, it's not illusionary too, let me backtrack, right? They've got you under this impression that it's done, they don't want to talk to you, right? But they're still the one preying on your social media or driving past your house. You know how many times I've spoken to people in sessions, they say the narcissist, they got caught driving past their house, and they were the ones that was discarded. I'm telling you, these people are fucking weird. All right, they honestly don't let go. So what I need you to embrace from this video, okay, is the narcissist is angry, they're bitter, they're twisted that you haven't gone to the fullest extent to the end of the earth and jumped off it and literally killed yourself. Right? Then they'll be satisfied. Then they'll be satiated. You know, they want you to go to the end of the earth for them, and then they'll be the very one that pushes you off the cliff. All right, seriously, okay, that's what they want from you. And please, on this topic, I'm gonna have to go on a bit longer now, because every time I bring this up, I have to put in a disclaimer. All I'm saying to you is, because I speak to many people that have suicidal ideations, it's very common, okay, and if you're going through suicidal ideations over the despair that you're feeling in your life, I need you to understand that try to do something. If you're laying down in bed, hear me out, right? If you're laying down in bed and you're crying or you're devastated, go out for a walk, okay? If it's safe to do so, just go for a brisk walk, you know? Get ready. If you're up to it, get ready and make yourself feel nice. Go for a coffee. Just go for a walk. Just make sure it's walking. Okay. Some of you might have to. Some of you might drive or catch a bus to a local location where there's a nice scenery or nice greenery or something like that. Please go out at a safe time to do so. And someone gave me a word of advice that was actually going through suicidal ideations, and they said that I should advise you to say get through to the next hour. Okay. Because what you got to understand is, these people that have actually taken their own life, they can't talk now, okay? They can't get their message across. But I'm sure I believe is 99% or 100% fact, right? That when they went through with that decision, they regretted it almost instantaneously. And I don't want to bring up kind of, I don't know if this is the right idea. Look, you know that saying they say if someone jumps off a cliff or they jump off a building, on the halfway down they start to think, why did I do it? This will happen in any instance that you start to go and take your own life, because the soul wants to live, no matter what your situation is, no matter how hard it is. Okay, there's someone I studied. This is going off the topic of the reverse Hoover, but its point is I have to go into this, right? There's someone I studied, Viktor Frankl, right? And he was in a Nazi concentration camp, right? And his family died, or his wife got killed in the gas chambers and stuff. And he wrote these things, these manuscripts, these books, about man's search for meaning. And he actually extracted meaning, become a renowned, writer, and found meaning from his struggle, like death and stuff, right? I'm not just, there's many sufferings over the world, but this is significant because how he changed it into like a blessing, right? And that's what I need you to understand about what you're going through now. You're not gonna be like this a bit further down the line. You're not gonna be in that mindset, and that's why that person I spoke to in the session, the lady I spoke to in the session, said tell him to get through to the next hour. Okay, so I know I've digressed a little bit into the suicide thing, but just please, if it's safe to do so, go for a walk. Have a shower, get ready. Even if you're in your house, walk around the garden, whatever, right? Or walk around the block, if it's safe. Okay, just do these things. It only has to be a 5-10 minute walk. You'll feel different when you come back. You'll see scenery, you'll see cars, you don't have to talk to no one. It will just be different. All right. So all I'm saying is this they're trying to encapsulate you into some really, really vulnerable position. Okay, where no one understands you, where people don't understand, people are casting judgment, they've smeared you, they're doing all these things, and they're maintaining silence. Now, all I'm saying to you is this is a reverse Hoover, and they expect you to chase them to the end of the earth. Please do not. Okay? From this video, don't think, oh, so they do want me to reach out. If you reach out, it just backtracks. Okay? It doesn't break the whole cycle of however long you've been no contact. But you have to reset the days because you broke the no contact. And then don't get down about that. All I'll say to you is those of you that have broke no contact, it's just the good nature in you. And now this time around, after that experience, you'll learn from it. Okay? Try to extract meaning from suffering. What does it tell you about how you can evolve? You see? Try to see how you can evolve from these unfortunate incidences that have happened in your life. Okay? Now, you can use that rule of that suffering, okay, and extract meaning. You see, when I'm in dark times, I see meaning. That's all I see. And I don't know, I'm trying to share something quite deep with you, right? But it's been with me ever since I was a child. I still remember when I had the epiphany. And I remember I was riding my bike, and I remember thinking how much I had changed as a person and grown up. I was very young. I must have been about 8, right? 7, 8. And it was after my mum died. And I remember thinking, wow, look how much I've changed. I remember thinking, I wasn't using these words obviously, but I was like, how have I changed so much? And I was thinking, oh, that wouldn't happen. I was thinking, oh, if she was still alive, I would have never become this. But I like who I am now. I remember thinking this as very young. Okay, now it wasn't as in depth as I'm going into it now, but that same rule has stuck with me through life. And I'm not saying it's just like when I said I see meaning. Obviously, there's other afflictions, other where your mind's divided and things like that, but you can still see an essence of meaning there within it. So it can be like, oh, if something happens, if this route happens, I can see meaning in it, and you can just see pathways, right? So that's what I tried to tell you to do, dig into your mind. All right. Honestly, you're gonna become a much better version of yourself. And all I'm saying is this Hoover that you desire so much, the narcissist is doing it to you now. And I have to say something. If the narcissist never reaches out directly, like, because it is directed reverse Hoover, it's blatantly at you, you understand it, and now you definitely understand it. But like, say they never reach out with a declaration of love or acknowledgement of the error of their ways, because they won't a lot of times, is actually because they gauge you from a distance, spying on you, that you're done. Like, you're done with them. And it's not necessarily you, hanging around new company or being in a new relationship or new job or whatever. Like, it's actually them gauging it. They'll see the way you are. All right. They'll look at social cues within you in photos and videos and things like that and see that you're content. All right. And then by that time, they know they're going to get rejected. So they're not going to most certainly not going to open up. I can't say most certainly. Hold on. I have heard of people opening up, but it's a lot of them are very stubborn. Okay. But all I'll say just before I close the video, there was a man I spoke to very early days when I was doing sessions, and he told me I could share a story, but he was with his wife. His wife wanted a divorce. She wasn't letting him see the daughter, even though he was driving the daughter to school, caring for her after nursery, doing all the stuff. But she wouldn't let him have overnight stays so he could chill out and watch a film or eat popcorn or just chill with his daughter. And she was denying him intimacy for a long time before the relationship ended and before they was in divorce proceedings. Anyway, I'm not saying it was me, but we spoke in depth a lot, and he learned himself from his own experience and everything. And one day, the narcissist broke down and said, like, where are you getting this strength from? Where are you getting this strength from? And broke completely down, right? And I think this was after he caught a new supply coming out the house. And then she broke down, like, where are you getting this strength from, right? And I'm not saying it was me, it's within him. It's God or the universe or everything within him. And he rejected her. He had managed to get his visitations with his daughter, and he messaged me like a year after, and even a year and a half, couple years after, and thanked me, right? Now, all I'm saying is you're going to get to that place. You don't always need the narcissist to go in that direction that it happened to this gentleman with his wife, right? You don't always need to think like that, all right? The reverse Hoover is enough to show you that it's a force they're wrestling with, not to reach out. It's a force they're wrestling with to maintain silence. Narcissists like to chat a lot of rubbish. They'll do a lot of rubbish smear campaigns, do all this stuff. Like, check out these other videos about the narcissist keeping your name alive and things like that. That will give you more indication to what they're doing. But all I'm saying is they do indulge in this stuff to feel connected to you. They're fighting with a force to maintain the silence, and it's with one agenda: to try and make you so vulnerable that you can't see no one else but them. All right. So this will pass if you're in that position. This will pass. I believe it will pass quickly. But please take your time to heal. Don't rush into new relationships or acquaint with new colleagues and associates and people. Take your time to find yourself again, because these people have stripped so much and took so much from each and every one of you that right now God and the universe wants you to channel, I believe, that back into yourself. Rebuild yourself, not for someone else. Rebuild yourself for yourself. All right. So understand, this narcissist is getting very annoyed from the day you stop chasing and pursuing, in why you stop pursuing. Remember, like I said in the earlier segment, they'll check notifications, they'll check their block list, they'll unblock and block, they'll unblock. This is what I'm saying, the block's at the end of the world. They're going to unblock. Don't be sitting around on social media waiting to see the unblock, because they will do it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Honestly, they'll unblock, block. And they already got access from other accounts anyway, right? Many of you on social media, I know not all of you are. And just before I go, if you're not on social media, you're driving them mad because they can't see into your life, right? That's why people I speak to actually step away from social media, not through my advice, but many of them have stepped away from social media, just deactivated their accounts, stuff like that, and then come back to social media when the time was right. So anyway, I hope this video helps. Thanks for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. If you'd like to donate or support to the channel, you can. Check out Zion Music. I've just launched a new channel. I'm releasing music kind of with this same theme, okay, of what you're going through. So if you want to check it out, also you can check out the spiritual channel for more content. And I've just released an EP, and I've got my next project. I've released the first track from the next project too. So Ascension is the one I've just released, and Beneath the Veil is a new EP coming soon, very soon. Okay, and please support if you can. I'd appreciate all your support and comments and things like that. So anyway, have a blessed weekend, and I'll be back on a video soon. Peace.